Hey,
Hello.
welcome.
Funny. Usually it's me coughing up along, but it's you now.
Yeah, let's just transition.
Welcome to Christmas Podcast. Hosts Sir coughs a lot and is faithful.
Sir smoked 40 packs in a day. Literally, okay, so I got into a coughing fit like 5 minutes ago before we started. And I thought I was going to be fine with a glass of water and stuff. Nope, I'm very much not. I don't know what it is. If I got some camphor or I'm coughing up mucusy type junk. I don't know. It just, for whatever reason, this evening my allergies have been haywire. Maybe it's because I was installing cameras and stuff at the church for so long today. Okay. You need some melatonin, dude?
No, I'm already tired.
No, that's fair, actually.
Because you are very boring. I'm just kidding. He's not boring.
I was going to say, boring's not the right word for me. Crazy, insane, over-dedicated, works too much. This is just something like the everyday male.
Anyway, Nathan.
Maybe I am boring.
Nathan. What are we talking about tonight?
We're talking about King Jehu.
Yep.
That was random, isn't it?
Yeah, that's random. Just one of the kings of Israel.
Yeah.
At least it is.
He wasn't very good at it.
At least it wasn't what's his name who ruled for a week.
Oh yeah, who's that guy?
I don't.
Wait,
I don't remember. You have the notes for it.
I got the chart somewhere. Where's that chart?
Right there.
Was, Zimri.
Zimri.
He was the king of Israel for 7 days.
7 days. A week. 1 week.
Yep.
That's all he got.
I mean, that's 7 days longer than I've been a king.
I've been a king for 28 years.
Your face has been a king for 28 years.
Yeah, because it's been attached to my body. That's kind of how this works, Nathan.
Yes.
Anyway.
Is your shirt backwards?
No.
$10.
No, it's not.
Okay. Oh, I see the thing now. Okay, never mind. I saw the stripe going around the back, and I was like, usually they put the stripe on the front. Because I got a hoodie that's like that. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll let us 1 second. Ah! I anticipated it, too. What are we talking about again?
King Jehu.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You got yourself distracted.
Yeah, we're really good at...
No, you just derailed us. Good job, Nathan.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, King Jehu.
King Jehu. Yeah, he's not great.
Started off all right, but then...
He nosedived. He was a reverse hockey stick. He was like, I'm slightly better than all the other kings of Israel. No.
Well, at least he's not Ahab.
No, Ahab, he was just like, bad, worse. And then repented, and then worse.
Right.
I don't think that repentance was one of salvation, though. I think that was more of a, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Please spare me. And
don't kill me now. Kill me in a generation or two, which is what we're talking about tonight. Actually, believe it or not, with King Jehu.
All right.
So King Jehu, who was this guy? Well,
He was a guy.
He was definitely a guy. He was a king in Israel. He was after King Joram, who was. He was bad, okay? And also before after Ahaziah and Ahab of the Israel side. You can get those. There's an Ahaziah in the Judah side as well. That was also actually terrible. But anyways, King Jehu. If you're like me, and when you're studying your notes for Sunday school or, preaching or whatever, if you read things out of context or you read only a portion, but you know the end of the story, you get super confused. Right. So when I was studying last week for this, I I saw my chart that I had because I pulled a chart from the online saying which kings were bad, which kings were good for both Judah and Israel.
Right.
And I see Jehu, and it says he's bad. I said, cool, great. But then I read the first half of 2 Kings chapter 10, and dude's like slaughtering Ahab's descendants. He takes down all of the prophets of Baal, and not only that, he actually eradicates it. Totally takes out all of the like worship places and stuff and kills everybody.
Pay no attention to the cat that Nathan just picked up.
Yeah, he was starting to play with my shoes, and these are new shoes, so I'm not doing that.
And something that's not mentioned in 2 Kings 10, by the way, getting back on topic.
Yeah.
For Jehu, he doesn't kill Jezebel directly. He orders her killed.
Yeah, he orders her killed, but I mean, he's the one who's like instigating it.
Yeah, he's the one instigating it. So,
and he actually ordered a lot of people to do a lot of
getting rid of like the bloodline of the worst king in Israel's history. He's getting rid of the queen, who's arguably one of the worst.
I think she might be the worst queen.
She's the worst queen.
Athaliah's pretty close though.
You could. I'm just saying, there's an argument to who. There is an argument to be made there.
was also low key not that great.
Neither was McCall, but slightly off topic. But I would certainly put Jezebel at the top.
Jezzy's a little weird.
Yeah,
she's got things going on. So
he's doing all the right.
He did all the right things.
He's starting off by doing all the right things.
But I was confused because
right.
I saw that and I was like, "But why is he a bad king?" And it wasn't until I got to the end where it's like, "Oh yeah, he didn't actually take down all of the golden calves in." What was it? Bethel and
Dan,
one other place. Yeah, Dan and Bethel.
Dan and Bethel.
So I was really lost. I was like, okay, well, what caused this? I mean, even there was some other kings who didn't take those places down, and they were still regarded as one kings who walked with the Lord. So why it kind of felt like an exception,
Right.
I was like, why is there this weird exception? And it was, oh, my mom just texted me. I'm going to put my everything on Do Not Disturb so I don't get distracted. Do Not Disturb. So I was so confused, Zach. I was like,
so this king, it is super weird.
Oh, it is.
It's super weird, but the passage we're talking about also states that he followed in the sense of Jeroboam.
That's the key phrase.
Or Jeroboam the first.
That is
there's
the
two
key.
Jeroboams in Israel.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. There is a couple.
Yeah. So,
but nobody cares about the second one.
Little bit of context. This is after.
Well, it did reign for 41 years, I guess.
Yep. This is after. So, for those of you who don't know,
this is before Jeroboam the second, by the way.
Yeah, this is before the second, but it's referencing the first. Hi, Anakin.
So,
sorry. Yeah, it's so for like to zoom out for a wider context. You have King Saul, bad king.
Yeah.
I mean, he starts off good, but then.
Yeah, he dives.
You have King David, the best king in Israel's history.
Mm-hmm.
Has a hiccup or two along the way. I'm not going to excuse David's actions.
Right.
David has a couple of hiccups, but yet he's called a man after God's own heart.
Right.
So despite the good kings that come out of Judah, and descendants of David directly, and until Jesus comes and reigns, David, for a historical purpose, David is basically the best king Israel has had to date. And I'm talking to us here now.
Which is
saying a lot.
Kind of rough.
It's
I mean, all things considered.
Not saying there's not other good kings, but David You look at a map of Israel during David and
It was
Solomon's reign.
great.
It was like
It depends.
it was like
how
up.
do you consider Nebuchadnezzar?
Oof.
He's not really a king of Israel, but he's kind of the one who ran the show, and he does turn to God.
He turns to God.
I think he repents fully. By the way.
Yeah, but again, he's not.
He's not really in the. He's not in the line.
He's
so
not in the line.
yeah.
That's the thing. He's not.
That is the kicker.
He's not. He's just the one who's ruling over Israel, not the king of Israel.
Yeah.
As chosen by the people or by the Lord, or
Right, but
he's just.
But the Lord did use him.
Yes.
And I think he got saved at the end. I really do.
We'll see.
Hey, hey, buddy, how you doing?
Ow. He's never jumped up like that before.
Not for you, but for me a little bit. Oh, that's why you're jumping up here. You want to look at the dials. Yeah, you're not looking at the dials, fatso. This cat is so fat. Look at how fat he is. I mean, look at this void. This dude, and he's purring too. Oh no, I'm being attacked.
Well, he was trying to get Anakin's tail. There we go.
I know. All right. So Jehu.
So yeah, but anyway, so you then to keep going on the context.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Then you got after David, you got Solomon. Starts off good, then ends badly because
he's
wives
Solomon.
thing.
What?
The wives thing.
He's got a lot of wives.
Yes.
Hey, buddy.
But anyway, so Solomon loses his way, but I think if Ecclesiastes is something to go by, I think Solomon at the very end of his life realizes, oh crap, I've been a bad ruler.
Yeah, I think he does, and I think that's what Ecclesiastes is about.
Yeah, that's what Ecclesiastes. I agree. And then after that, you have Rehoboam, who's just like, I'm not going to listen to all the advisors my dad had. My dad, the wisest man to ever exist.
Yeah, we're going to ignore him and actually do what my friends say.
We're going to ignore all his buddies.
Well,
and
pinky fingers bigger than your loins. Ugh.
And he...
That's what he said.
Yeah. And
which is really disgusting, by the way.
Rehoboam's actions split the kingdom. You have Rehoboam taking the southern line.
Oh, he tried.
The southern king, the tribes of Judah. Most of the time they'll say 2, but it's 1 and like a quarter.
What's that?
Most of the time they say there's 2 tribes in Judah, but it's like.
Wait, wasn't it
2?
Wasn't it Judah and? Wait,
I think Benjamin.
Yeah, Benjamin. Oh, whoa! That's my charger. Okay, let me get him 1 second. All right. Cat's messing with the cables.
Hey, buddy.
Well, it's just the charger cord, so he'll probably.
Yeah.
All right, you're not doing that. Nope, we're not.
Nope.
Come here. No more charger cords. Nope.
And you can see Anakin's learned.
Hey, bud, you're gonna stay with me now. Hey, bud.
Yeah, but
no charger cords.
So yeah, under Rehoboam.
I kissed the mic. I meant to kiss him, and I kissed the microphone. Sorry if you had to hear that.
Under Rehoboam, the kingdom splits, and Judah has some bad kings, some good kings, some all right kings. It's a mixture.
Everyone in Israel's bad.
All
of the kings in Israel were bad.
Everyone in Israel's bad.
And that's why I was confused.
Jeroboam takes Israel. He built, like you mentioned before, he built the golden calves in Bethel and Dan.
Yep.
You have all these kings. You have
But why did he do that?
Because Jerusalem is technically in Judah.
Jerusalem's in Judah, and he was the king of Israel. And so it wasn't a religious reason why he didn't let them go or didn't want them to go to Jerusalem. It was geopolitical.
Right.
Because there are 3 festivals every single year that all of the tribes would have to go to Jerusalem for, if you remember.
Right.
And that's Pentecost, Passover, and whatever the other one was. Hold on, I got to write it down here.
Oh, wait.
What
was it Pentecost? I thought Pentecost was...
That's what it turned into, I think.
Yeah, Pentecost.
Pesach, Shavat, and Sukkot is the names of them. I forget what.
So one of them's Passover.
Passover is the first one. Shavat. What was Shavat? Booths. Feast of Booths. That's what it was. See, I wrote down the actual Hebrew words, but I didn't write down like the English. So the third one's the Feast of Booths.
But yeah, it's
so
they
have to go back.
Right.
And they thought that they were going to lose control. In fact, in First Kings, I've got it written down. 1 Kings 12, verses 26 and 28. Jeroboam actually says that.
Right.
He was going to have fear of losing the kingdom.
Right. But anyway, but in the eyes of the Lord, whatever geopolitical reasons there are.
Oh, it wouldn't matter. Yeah.
In the eyes of the Lord, Jeroboam sinned, and
it was horrible.
King after king after king in the northern kingdom, they committed the same sins as Jeroboam. They committed the same sins as Jeroboam. Then you get to Ahab.
And he
was just like,
thought I was bad, or they were bad. Watch this.
And the Bible legit says, I remember pointing this out. The Bible legit says Ahab committed the sins to Jeroboam worse than Jeroboam did.
Kind of impressive, in a sinful way.
I was just like, so,
like, wow,
that
way to be known, bud.
To give an illustration of what you just said, impressive in a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
Me and a buddy during college. So
this ain't me, is it?
It's not you.
Okay.
No. So, just for some context in this story, late night food runs were kind of common at Calvary.
Oh yeah.
Well, they are kind of common at Calvary. Calvary's still open.
They still are. They still very much.
So late night food runs.
Thing.
Late night food runs are kind of a thing at Calvary. I know it's all college, but it's all colleges, but without partying like you do at some other colleges.
Yeah, we didn't do that. That was not.
Late night food runs were kind of the safe bet to do a thing.
Driving to QT every night,
or Taco Bell, or
spending money you didn't have.
Exactly. Whatever the restaurant was.
Don't ask me how much I spent at QT.
Both of us spent probably thousands at QT. But anyway, me and a buddy.
It was bad.
Me and Logan Hiskey.
Oh yeah.
Me and my buddy Logan. Shout out to him if you watch, buddy. We were driving. I think we were driving to QT, and we saw this dude on his bike, and he was swerving.
That's impressive.
And both of us were like, "Yeah, he's drunk." And then I go, "That's like, it's like I shouldn't be impressed by it, but I kind of am."
Like, how did you stay on the bike?
Right.
That's kind of my question. Like, how did you do that?
It's like, well, if you're gonna be if you're gonna do something, at least be impressive about it. That's the face both of us made. Where we were just like,
How about just do something awesome and not sinful,
right?
Or stupid. So I want to get back to Jehu, because I think that's a good chunk of context.
Yeah, that is a good chunk of context. But suffice it to say, Ahab's sin is why Jehu is doing what he's doing.
Oh yeah, it absolutely is.
That's the main point.
It passed down, and so Jehu. It's really weird because earlier in chapter 11 of 2 Kings, he stops and picks up somebody and says, "Hey."
Chapter 11.
I'm sorry, chapter 10. My bad. I'm studying next Sunday's thing, and I get the passage. So early in the middle of chapter 10, he says, "Look at how much zeal I have for the Lord. Look at how much whatever I've got for the Lord." And then it seems like he makes good on that.
Right.
The only thing that I would really discredit him for at that point is when he struck down the prophets of Baal. In verse 18 of chapter 10, it says, Jehu gathered all the people and said to them, Ahab served Baal a little, Jehu will serve him much. Basically saying, hey, you thought Ahab was bad? I'm going to be even worse. But verse 19, at the very end, he said he did this in cunning so that he might destroy the worshipers of Baal. And so he actually lied to get them all together.
But that brings up the question: is lying, lying is bad, but why is there this double standard of, oh hey, this person is serving the Lord and lying, like Rahab the prostitute.
I was just about to bring that up. Yeah.
Like why is he calling it a sin, but yet there's these people who are serving him that are lying?
Well, I think it goes back to people who serve the Lord aren't perfect.
Right.
And a lot of times their own ambition and heart, maybe for God or in this case for yourself,
right.
Gets the better of you. Because if you look at Elijah, he killed, 400 Baal worshippers in a single day?
Right. And then he immediately ran.
Well, he ran for his life, but that's because he was depressed for like 5 seconds.
But yeah,
But
it's...
what was it? He's about to jump. I can see him looking at it. Oh, yeah, his head was turned. He was ready to jump. But Jehu, he lies to kill all the prophets of Baal.
Right.
Now, that's actually not discredited against him.
Right.
What's discredited is keeping the golden calves up. I think that if he had, if he kept it to that lie, he probably would have been forgiven.
Okay, and going back to your point of earlier of like, okay, the people who serve the Lord aren't perfect. Second thing I would add to that is the Lord can use sinful people to accomplish His purposes. The Lord can use anything.
Oh,
he
can do whatever he wants. Yeah.
We learn of just if I can bring up a New Testament story.
Yeah, go for it.
The woman who had the blood disease.
Mm-hmm.
All she did was touch Jesus' clothes, and she was healed.
And Jesus was like, "What?"
Jesus was like,
"Someone touched me. There was power. I felt it."
Who? Some of my power left me. Who took it?
Like, hold on, wait a second.
Who took it? But yeah,
that'd be kind of nice. Like, God, I'm sick. Whack. Why'd you do that? 'Cause you're holy.
I
deal with it. You came to earth.
I saw a reel a couple of weeks ago, and it was like the disciples could never call in sick, and they were like, hey Jesus, I'm sorry, I'm sick, and Jesus just heals them. Man,
I'd have been so mad. I'd be like, dude, I need a day off. I'm not doing too hot, and he'd just be like, you're lying, or rise, you're healed.
To be fair. I think
yes, if I have to follow God, I guess I will.
To be fair, I think Jesus did allow them time to rest. I'm not saying that.
Oh, they did. Well, they had to. I mean, he instituted it, so.
I'm just saying. It's a. Excuse me, as I burp into the mic.
Mm-hmm.
It's a funny prospect to think. Oh, that the disciples can never call in sick to their discipleship.
That would be kind of awkward.
Like, you're healed.
What if Jesus just wanted a break?
Then he took a break.
Like, y'all are sick for a day.
Just okay. It's a day bug. Don't worry about it.
It's just imagine being like Peter or something. You get a cold or like allergies or something. You're like, God, can you help me? This is so annoying. And God's just like, I made an immune system. Get over it.
Shut up, Peter. Peter, you're finally being quiet.
Peter, foot and mouth no longer for 5 minutes.
Anyway,
so Jehu.
so Jehu, about the 30th time we said that this episode.
So he tells his white lie, but that's really not discredited.
Right.
It's still a lie. He's still wrong. He shouldn't have done that.
He shouldn't have lied. He just said, "Hey, I'm gonna."
He is credited with killing all the Baal worshippers and taking Baal worship out of Israel.
Right.
He is credited for that, and the Lord actually says that. And he even rewards him. God rewards him by saying, "Hey, your 4th generation is going to be on the throne."
Right.
So there's actually a promise that the kingdom of Israel is going to be around for a few more generations.
Right.
At least at that point. So, but when you get to the end, right after that, it says, yeah, he kept the golden calves up.
Kept the golden calves up.
At Bethel and Dan, which are on opposite ends of the kingdom.
Sinned in likeness to Jeroboam.
So was he, the question, and this is the main question for the day, was Jehu following God at the beginning because he wanted to follow God, or was he following God because it matched his geopolitical status? I think it's his status.
Right.
And here's why. That person that he picks up, it says there is a detail here that a lot of people kind of gloss over, but Chronicles actually gives a little bit more information on it. So he says, this is verse 15, he met Jehonadab, the son of Rechab. And at the very end, it says he took him up into the chariot. Rechab. Who is Rechab? Well, Second Chronicles Second Chronicles tells us this. First Chronicles. First Chronicles 2:55. The father of the house of Rechab was described as being a scribe. So if you're of Rechab's family, you're a scribe and are very highly looked upon politically. And so when he meets Jehonadab and realizes that he's part of the house of Rechab, he goes, oh, I can extend my political influence by getting this guy onto my chariot.
Right.
And you kind of see hints of this political status being thrown out there. You know, look how much zeal I have for the Lord. I'm doing all these things because the Lord said it, and it's going to make me look great, and blah, 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 blah.
And
that's why he treated the Baal worshippers the way he did.
Right. And let's just say, okay, regardless of the answer, whether he was truly serving the Lord or whether he was serving the Lord for his own gain.
I think it's the last one.
The Lord was still using him. He rid Israel of the Baal worshippers.
Yep.
He fulfilled he promised he made to Ahab, your kid's gonna die and another person's gonna take your throne.
Yep.
And he rid the land of Jezebel.
Yes, he did.
So he did good.
He did a lot of good.
And just because these kings are described as bad, or or they're bad kings, they're wicked kings, doesn't mean they didn't do good.
Right. Like there was things that happened because the Lord kind of played 4D chess and kind of made it work. And he just, with Jehu, it ended up that Jehu was just a narcissist who wanted to be liked. And, Jesus is a good way to be liked. Oh, until they have to all leave my kingdom 3 times a year? Oh, nope, we're not doing that. Bye, Jesus.
Right.
That's what he did.
And, and that political wanting, I think, is something that has passed down through the generations of Israel, because we see it in the New Testament with a particular group of people.
Pharisees. Oh, sorry.
Scribes. And the reason the scribes and the Pharisees, the reason the Sanhedrin wants Jesus dead is because they are afraid of losing what power they have.
Yeah. Well, and they wanted influence and popularity. I mean, literally, it was like a bunch of high schoolers trying to get on TikTok and be the #1 viewed. Right. I mean, that's the level of stupidity it was at. But
it's like being, the popular kid in high school. It's like being his friend.
Yeah.
If I can just be his friend.
If I could be Caiaphas' friend.
Right. If I could be
Jehu's friend.
If I could be God's friend.
I'm gonna have status.
I'll have a mate, which in real.
Okay. Wait a minute. Hold up. You're telling me that the same lie that Lucifer tempted himself with.
Exactly.
It was the same lie he uses on people.
Yep.
I can be like God. I can be his best friend until I want to usurp him.
Right.
Oh, I actually lost.
And the thing is, God knows that you're doing it the entire time. So
God's just like,
don't bother it.
You see the little mind? I created it. Oh. Sorry, God.
Anyway,
So
yeah.
let me throw a pivot, and I mean a hard pivot.
A hard pivot.
This is gonna like 181 right in the face.
All right.
How many times do you see modern day televangelists and teachers and stuff do the exact same thing Jehu did?
Oh, all the time. All the time.
Yep.
And okay, let me ask this follow up.
Mm-hmm.
How many of those televangelists, and well, this is going to be specific, how many of those televangelists profess to be have been friends with popular evangelists just to get themselves status?
A lot of them do it.
I was friends with Billy Graham.
Yeah. I knew
I studied
Charles Ryrie.
I studied under Ryrie, or I studied under MacArthur.
That's not what that's not what your bragging point should be.
Paul says it. I think it's in one of the Corinthians.
Uh-huh.
I think.
Probably.
It's Paul. It's
Paul doing.
It's Paul saying it. That's the important part. He's saying some of you are saying I'm of Paul. Some of you are saying I'm of Paul. Some of you are saying I'm of Peter. No.
Stop it.
Screw that noise. Get the division out. You are of Jesus. That's the only one who matters.
Yeah. Well, and I think he was saying that too.
And again, that's a paraphrase.
You see, no, you're right though. Paul saying that kind of flies right in the face of denominations, because that was kind of like the early form of denominations or following big pastors or whatever.
Following teachings of certain pastors.
Right.
Or, at that time in history, certain disciples.
How do we classify a lot of our denominations today? Wesleyan,
Presbyterian.
Well,
yeah.
That's a Greek word, but the principle still follows. It's not necessarily following a people; it's following a method of teaching.
Right.
You got the Catholic side. You've got the Baptists. You've got the Plymouth Brethren movement.
You've got the Lutherans.
You've got the Bible Church movement. You've got you got all the different conferences, which are basically denominations.
You got all these associations
with more dollars behind it.
Right. You got
it's when I understand having a group of believers and organizing and whatever. I understand that. I think that's a good thing. But when you're unwilling to work with each other and be united,
right?
Even though you agree on most of the big stuff, if you disagree, I think if you disagree on third level or fourth level stuff, that shouldn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Secondary issues,
maybe.
Like, creation account, I'm not going to say it's a salvation issue, but it's definitely secondary. Your Bible reading's going to be skewed if you don't know that.
Right.
But, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's hey, I'm following this person because I think it'll gain me popularity. No, follow Jesus. And by the way, Jesus said they are going to hate you because of my name.
Yeah.
He's looking.
I can be hated. Yeah. I've been hated before.
And but it's the same problem.
It's all the same problem. It's the same family of problems.
Right.
I mean, what it boils down to is narcissism and ego, thinking that you're better or that you can be better if you're with somebody or something other than God or using God.
I'm gonna use God to climb climb whatever ladder you want to.
Dude, I might have to correct myself on something.
What?
So I'm just having a realization literally right now. I'm glad we're doing this, actually.
You're seeing it first on camera.
So
Nathan was wrong.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Time out. You're saying this is the first time I've been wrong ever?
No.
Did you just pander to my ego by accident?
A little bit, but who said it was by accident?
What? Huh? Now I'm lost.
Application there.
Okay, so you're wrong, and I'm wrong.
Everybody wrong.
And speaking of being wrong, so this what we're describing is people taking Jesus and using him as an idol.
Right.
And there was something I said in youth group like a year or two ago, and I think you were there for this.
Yep.
And it was kind of an offhand comment, but I didn't think of all of the other applications of this. Although I don't think the group took it this way, but I said something to the degree of, oh yeah, if you idolize Jesus, you're probably doing the right thing because that means you're worshiping him and him only, which is good, except when you twist it.
Right.
And I'm realizing now, Jehu twisted it.
Right.
And other people like Simon the magician twisted it.
Right. Well, if you look at the Pharisees, were they wrong in trying to obey the law?
The way that they did it, they were wrong.
Right. The way they did it, technically no, because these are the laws given by God, right?
Yeah, but they stretched it.
Right. These are the
I
laws.
see what you're saying, though.
These are the laws given by God.
Uh-huh.
Now, they took it and, like you said, they took it and stretched it.
Yeah.
In all the wrong ways.
I think right at first they were right.
At first they were right.
Right at first. I forget, there actually was a point where it actually pivots, and I forget where it is.
Right.
I think it's right either during or before the 400 years silence.
Right.
I'll have to read again.
No.
If I find it, I'll let you know.
And I'm talking about the scribes and Pharisees at the time of Jesus.
Yeah.
So, trying to obey the law wasn't the problem. The way they went about obeying the law was the problem, because they were
legalism.
They were idolizing. And I think I've said this before. They were idolizing like an after image of God.
Yeah, they were idolizing the Torah.
Right.
And the law, and just like following that.
They were refusing to see that God had shifted.
Yeah. Well, it's not even that. They just didn't even pay attention. Like it's like they were adding stuff just to add stuff.
Right.
But like, okay, so not boiling the mother in her own milk or something like that. They took that to say that you can't even have a goat and milk, like, even in the same room or something like that. Like, it has to be in separate rooms. Like, what?
Now, okay, to a certain extent, I get it. Like, to a certain extent, I'm like, okay. Like, this is something that you can trace back to Genesis 3. Because what does Eve say? Eve said to the snake, because God only says, don't eat of it.
Yeah.
But Eve says, I shouldn't eat of it, nor should I touch it.
Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, I didn't think of that.
Okay, so putting a rule, an extra rule, as a cushion to the rule, isn't the problem.
It's like you're trying to avoid temptation.
Right.
But I think a lot of times what happens is people get so focused on avoiding the temptation that they ended up being tempted by the very thing they wanted to run away from, which obviously happened with the fall of man.
Right.
I have to control this one. He's going to try to eat my shoes.
Yeah.
Speaking of temptation.
But yeah, it's...
Resist. You do not want the shoelaces.
It's not a sin to want to add the extra rules. It's the way they went about...
Well, they applied it to everybody else.
Right.
That's what the problem was.
Rules for thee, not for me.
Or rules for thee, and I'm going to follow it and then make it even worse for everybody because I'm the popular one.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Or do as I do and do what I do even more. I think it was an increasing.
Right. But even so, they were more concerned with the appearance of them following the law.
Yeah.
As evidenced by the parable.
Doing things public. Wait a second. Hold up. Doing things publicly for influence.
Exactly.
Control.
Now you're catching on.
I brought up the topic. I recommended that we studied Jehu.
I may or may not be messing with you, but you know.
You always mess with me. That sounds like he's not supposed to do that.
Yep.
Sorry, he was in the kitchen for a minute. He jumped down.
Yeah, okay. We'll tackle that later.
Look, you can't say Anakin. As soon as it moved, immediately looked at us and went. His eyes got huge. Oh, did he knock it over? Uh-oh, how bad is it?
Oh, no, it just moved some.
It
It's
just
okay.
moved? Okay, we're fine.
We're okay. We're good.
We're
I
very
hope-
good at this whole multitasking thing.
I hope you all. But anyway,
We're very much men. We get distracted by like looking at something.
but yeah, it's very much I wanna. You better not.
He's coming up here.
Okay. It's very like the parable Jesus tells of the Pharisee and the tax collector. What's the
Yeah.
Pharisee doing there? He's not actually praying. He's grandstanding.
Yeah.
He's saying, "Lord,
Yeah.
look how much I've served you. Lord, I give I give my,
Ooh.
I give my required tithe.
So what
Lord,
does he say at the end?
I give my, Lord, I do my required service. And
What-
Lord, at least I'm not like this tax collector."
What does he say at the very end? Jesus. Depart from me.
Yeah, I was building to that.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I
was
just
building
spoiled
to
it.
that. And this tax collector is just like, "Oh, Lord, I know I'm a sinner.
Mhm.
I don't deserve your forgiveness, but if you can find it in yourself to forgive me, please do."
Right.
And then I think, it's right after that Jesus says,
Mm-hmm.
"There are gonna be those who come to me and say, Lord, Lord," like at the end,
Yeah.
they're gonna come to me and say, "Lord, Lord, look at my service, and
I did all these things for you.
look at what all I've done for you." And God's gonna be like, "Depart from me, I never knew you."
That would be terrifying.
That is the scary. That should be both the scariest and the saddest passage ever,
Mm-hmm.
because there are gonna be people who
Who were lied to
Who
by
are-
these big name preachers and stuff.
were
yeah.
lied to, who genuinely believe that they are serving the Lord,
Yep.
and yet they did not do the one thing He asked them to do.
Follow me.
Right. Take up your cross and follow me.
Literally just, and not even that, just well, actually it is that.
It is
Like, literally, follow me.
follow me.
Follow me in spirit and what you do.
And, he
Believe in the
says-
Lord Jesus Christ and you shall be saved.
He says, "Whoever follows me should hate his father and hate his family." Now is Jesus saying
Hate your parents.
no? Is Jesus saying,
Evil.
Is Jesus actually saying that? No.
No, he's not saying it in that context.
He's saying, okay,
You should
if-
be willing to give up everything for me, is what
Yes,
he's saying.
yes. He's saying your love for me should be so much and so vast and so big, and you should be so willing to do anything for me. But your hate should be your love for me, Anakin.
I think he's stretching.
Yep.
I wasn't doing anything.
But anyway, your love for me should be so vast and so
Mm-hmm.
unfathomable.
Yeah.
However you say that word,
Unfathomable.
that.
That was pretty quick.
But it should be just so big that everything else looks like hatred by comparison.
Ooh. Ooh.
That was pretty good, right?
Ooh. Watch him cook.
That was
That
pretty
was
good.
a really good. I like. I'm stealing that.
Do it.
I'm stealing that. Speaking of stealing things.
All right.
Our time has been stolen.
It has been used.
Yeah.
All right.
Like, comment, subscribe. Don't be like Jehu.
Don't no, or the Pharisees,
Don't do it.
because then Jesus will roast you.
We'll roast you too.
Yep.
You know, Matthew 18 applies only in person, not on video. Wait a minute.
Don't listen to that. Don't, no.
But you definitely get more views that way.
Yeah. Anyway,
You should not do it for that or for anything.
should we announce the thing?
Yes.
So,
Which thing, actually? I'm not really sure which one.
we have to get some equipment for it. But
Oh, yeah.
stay in tune. We might be starting Let's Plays on a channel here.
Get some
So
gaming.
Get some gaming done, because we're massive gamer nerds.
This podcast has literally just turned into, like, whatever is on Nathan and Zach's minds.
Exactly.
And we're just going to talk about it.
And also, look out for other new types of videos as we wait for the end screen to pop up.
There's been a few new videos and shorts here lately.
Right. And Fatso,
Views on the
Fatso, the tub of lard over there.
yeah, the void. We call him Anakin because he's dark. He's like the dark side. He's just a dark void.
Darkness.
That little darkness, my old friend. We gotta
No
call
parents.
this one like Luke or something. I don't know.
Super rich kind of makes it better.
But,
Saying it different.
all right, bye.
Alright, guys. Hey,
Love you.
we actually just kind of
We
did
did.
that.
We kind of landed. I want to do that again, actually.
We'll see.
Okay, bye.